are you considering a change to wood floors? There is such a variety to choose from, whether it's budget, desired ambiance, or ease of installation. We have all the facts because we have the BroLaws. They know some stuff. They know a lot of stuff. So many flooring options, and you know, we talk about this on the show constantly because viewers are constantly asking us about them. It can be overwhelming. There's so much out there. So let's start with wood or imitation wood.
Yeah, it can be super overwhelming, and all of our clients, I kind of break down with them the different products there are and the different applications or spaces that they can be used in, right?
Yes.
Because you can't necessarily use every floor everywhere.
Right.
So we're going to start off with this one, which is a glue-down vinyl.
Okay.
So it's a 100% waterproof product.
Yeah.
As you can see,
It's floppy.
super floppy, right?
Yeah.
But this is a glue-down product, so it doesn't have any grooves on the side of it to click into place.
Okay.
So in order to hold it down, you apply some glue and push it down onto it.
So as far as a DIYer is concerned, you have to have a little bit of a skill with a trowel. So this is just like a tiling trowel, smaller notches for these, and you're going to be applying an adhesive or glue. Now this stuff is a little bit drippy, so this can get messy in a hurry. So take your time with it. Make sure you get a good even spread. This is going to be a full glue down.
Joey, what kind of glue do you need to be using?
So it will be a floor adhesive. So that's important to see that it's just a floor adhesive.
Okay.
You're not using a mortar like you would for tile. It is strictly a glue that is going down. So we're going to spread this across. And then your boards do a little better job than I'm doing here, obviously.
It's a bit of a weird
hard to
angle.
do it when it's like standing up. So we give you props for that.
And then your boards are going to go in and just press right in to that glue. Depending on how much you're doing, you may want to get a big roller just to roll that out, make sure it's nice and even. One of the big rules for this is the floor needs to be smooth. It doesn't necessarily need to be level. These are great for basements if you're doing a basement renovation because they'll follow the contour of a floor, but you certainly don't want it to have any bumps in it.
Yes.
So if you're doing it on top of a subfloor like this, run a sander over all the seams, smooth it all out. Because any of those little imperfections, like Dave said, these aren't going to click together. They're just going to sit down and smooth out. So if there's any little bumps, you're going to see that in these seams.
Where do we want to use something like that? What kind of rooms would you use that kind of flooring in?
So this type of flooring can be lower cost, and it can be great for like a basement or especially if you're doing a basement apartment or a live-in suite. That's one of the applications where we used it, where you're able to get it for $1 a square foot.
Wow.
So the cost was very, very low on it, and we just glued it down, push it down. Labor is obviously a little bit more by gluing, but you're still just sticking it down in place. So it's great for that, especially with the 100% waterproof factor to it, so you know it's going to be durable in a basement space.
Okay, and it just goes right on the subfloor.
That's it.
Okay.
And then it's also really easy to cut is the other thing.
Good.
So for somebody who is trying to do it, you don't need power tools or anything like that. You simply use a knife and an edge, make a couple cuts across it, then you can flip it over and snap it. So you cut it off like that. So it's not messy. Other than the glue, that's the messy part. But cutting is easier.
So make sure you want to wait till that glue is a little bit tacky, you were saying before, so that it actually stays.
Exactly. So always read the labels on whatever adhesive that you buy because, a lot of them you want to trowel it out. You wait till it's kind of tacky, then it's going to actually stick the boards down in place.
Just like the false eyelashes, if anyone uses them. You wait till it's tacky and then you put them on.
Same here.
Same. Okay, what do we have next?
So here we have a couple different options as well. This is another vinyl, so it's another plastic through. So it's got a plastic bottom to it as well as a veneer top put onto it.
Okay,
So we've got that, and this clicks together.
Oh, nice.
So you're gonna need a power saw to be able to cut it to your lengths.
Okay.
But it's got a little groove on one side. And you put it down, the other side goes on top, and you can take a little rubber mallet, tap, 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 tap.
That's satisfying.
And the seam goes away and the boards attach.
Oh, that looks
good. You just want to make sure you're staggering your joints all the way around. Again, this is another waterproof product, so it could go into laundry rooms, basements. You could use it in a bathroom if you wanted to.
And then we have a laminate click down flooring there as well. So
are these attached to the floor at all?
So this is the big difference here is it's not. This is a floating floor. So these are just clicking together to make a uniform floor, but it doesn't actually fasten to the subfloor, and that's why we always suggest these for DIYers because of the ease of install is so big. You're basically going to start up with your first board. A couple of quick pro tips here. Don't just start up against a wall and start working off of that. You want to make a measurement and then get a chalk line. Get a chalk line, stretch that out across, and you're going to snap a line. where you're going to start. That'll be much straighter.
How you do that.
Boop. And that's going to give you a straight starting point.
That's cool.
For your first board, tack little screws right along your wall.
Yeah.
And that's going to be where you're going to build off of. And then you just simply click the next one in place. And it's in place.
I can imagine if you start with it a little bit off, then the whole thing is off.
Exactly.
Right.
It compounds.
So you got to make sure that first one is laid correctly.
Yeah. Take your time to mark it out to start, and then everything becomes easier.
Nice.
So the difference with this laminate is that it has an MDF core in it. So this is not water resistant. So you wouldn't want to use a product that has a core like that in bathrooms, laundry rooms, kitchens, anywhere, because if water does get, that's going to expand and those seams are going to start buckling up.
Gotcha.
You have a very wide range of price when it comes to laminates and with click vinyls as well.
Yeah.
You have kind of that mid-range that's more budget friendly. You can also get into a luxury vinyl. That's what we use in a lot of our high-end projects is a luxury vinyl. It goes down quickly. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
You have the benefits of it being waterproof, but
Yes.
it's more of an imitation floor and it's more durable as well.
Is it any cheaper, luxury vinyl, than, let's say, you going with hardwood?
It'll be comparable. So as you get into those now, where you do save, and what we'll touch on next, is that install. Because of how fast it goes in, especially as contractors, we can get an entire floor laid in less than a day, where when we get into the hardwoods and engineered, it's a little different story.
It's serious stuff. So let's talk about the hardwood.
Yeah, so when you get into hardwood, we're now dealing with real wood.
Yeah.
We've got two different options. This is an engineered hardwood. So it has a plywood base to it and a thin layer of wood on top.
Got it.
So you still have the benefits of real wood. You can feel the texture of it. And you can get this in nice wide lengths as well.
Okay.
So it has a tongue and a groove to it as well. So it can click together, get nailed down. One with this width of board would usually have a glue assist with it. So you would have nails and glue along with that.
Beautiful.
Where hardwood, it's obviously going to be solid wood right throughout. One of your big benefits going there is you can sand it down and stain it different colors. If you want to switch the vibe, you don't necessarily have to pull up the whole floor. You can sand it down because it's solid wood the whole way through.
Got it.
But as we mentioned, where you pay the money is on the install because you need a few more power tools to put these in. So you've got that groove and the tongue like Dave talked about. Those are going to hook together. We're going to knock that in so that the seam's nice and tight, and then you're going to use a stapler or a floor nailer. And that is what's going to hold it in place.
Gotcha.
Solid.
Okay, so you're paying for the fact that it's solid wood all the way through and then the install.
Yes.
Yeah, and with hardwood, you have a few more options on how you want to lay it, too. Because you're nailing it down, you could do a herringbone pattern. You could add in borders. There's lots more you could do with that, where with the others, you're kind of limited to just straight lay the cross.
Yeah, okay, the herringbone fancy schmancy. We were talking about that as my jacket. The little herringbone is so pretty.